data is really clear. If you look at Holocaust survivors, their children have way more issues in terms of psychological distress, anxiety. 9/11, there were a lot of women pregnant during 9/11 in New York City. And those offspring have reprogrammed genetics based on the trauma that their mothers experienced during that time. And those can be measured. Different genes are expressed, different pathways are expressed that cause, for example, a higher level of anxiety, decreased ability to process the stress hormones, and many other phenomena that happen that are programmed epigenetically. We know that if you take, in animal studies, if you take for example, glyphosate, which is sprayed on 70% of all crops, it's a weed killer, Roundup we call it in this case. If you give it to, let's say, a grandmother mouse, but not to the daughter and not to the granddaughter or whatever kid, I don't know what you call grandkid mice, anyway, that there will be changes 3 generations down caused by that toxin that original ancestor was exposed to. That will cause increased cancer, metabolic issues, kidney issues, a whole series of phenomena that are caused by epigenetic changes. So
you spray the grandmother, and then she has one generation of kids, and then the next generation of kids are still impacted by spraying the grandmother.
Yeah, so you might have heard of Lamarck. Have you heard of Darwin?
Darwin.
Okay,
yeah.
You heard of Darwin. Darwin basically had the theory of evolution, which is that species evolve through natural selection and they change slowly based on environmental pressures over time. They change their genes. Lamarck basically said you can change genes and inherit things very quickly. And so they were kind of both right in a sense. Lamarck was more talking about epigenetics, and Darwin was talking more about genetic evolution and mutations over time, which,
both are true.
Both are true, and neither of them knew about genes, but they were both observing phenomena that are explained by exactly what I'm talking about.
What is the most important thing you've discovered through your years of work as it relates to longevity and health and all of that we haven't talked about?
We spend so much time being human doings and not being human beings. And the thing that I observed in the blue zones was there was a lot of being going on. There was a lot of just being, and how important slowing down is to actually savor the things that really matter, that make life beautiful. Like I was with this 2 Italian ladies that were taking me around, these tour guides, and we were driving down out of this little village on the side of this mountain, and literally this car stops in front of us and just stops and kind of stops us and waves and says, "Get out of the car." And we're like, okay, what's going on? So we got out of the car. It was this old man. He was relatively young by Sardinian standards. He was 86, and named Carmine. And he said, "Come." And we sat down on the side of this stone wall on the side of the street, and we talked for 2 hours. He talked about his life. He asked me questions. We were talking about philosophy, politics, religion, what it was like when he was younger. We went through, and then he took me on a tour of his farm and showed me his sheep and the olive trees and the fig trees and the vegetables he was growing. And I couldn't keep up with him. He ran up the hill. He was like so fit. And he'd tell me the story of his life. And when was the last time someone did that? They might give you the finger if you stop in front of them. And we don't have this sort of value system anymore that values, deep relationships and deep conversations and deep connection. And that's what's beautiful about what you're doing. You're creating a space for deep connections. And, you've gotten to know me in this last 2 hours in ways that, most people don't, because you've asked questions and you spend time and you're curious, and I've been feeling safe to share it with you. And I haven't said a lot of this stuff in public before. And so it's really something beautiful that can come out of that. And then I feel, if somebody sees me, I'm seen, I'm heard. And that's a powerful medicine. So being seen is a powerful medicine. Love is a powerful medicine. Connection, belonging is powerful medicine.